Hi dear children, I am Sandhya, your English teacher. Today I would like to take the second lesson of your first unit, The Snake and the Mirror. The unit consists of one story by Ruskin Bond, Adventures in the Banyan Tree, another short story by Waitem Mohammed Bashir, The Snake and the Mirror, and a poem by William Wordsworth, The Lines Written in Early Spring. All these lessons are a tribute to nature. ഈ lessons എല്ലാം പ്രകൃതിക്ക് ഒരു സമ്മാനമാണ്. It reminds us the need of living in harmony with nature. പ്രകൃതിയുമായിട്ട് ഇണങ്ങി ചേർന്ന് ജീവിക്കേണ്ടതിൻ്റെ ഒരു ആവശ്യകത ഈ ലെസൺസിൽ ഉടനീളം നമുക്ക് കാണാം. Then come to a story, The Snake and the Mirror. You're all familiar with Waitem Mohammed Bashir. He has written a number of stories. He's a lover of nature. He is known as the Sultan of Stories. In our story, the central character is a homeopathy doctor. He is a bachelor. He has just started his career as a doctor. So, his salaries were meager. So that he is living in a rented house, and no one electrified a rented house. There was no ceiling. So, there was a regular traffic of rats to and from the beam that supported the gables. Here, our hero, the doctor, isn't a man of beauty. He had a habit of looking at the mirror every now and then. He desires to make himself much more handsome. So that he desires to shave daily, to grow a mustache. Moreover, he decided to keep an attractive smile, to keep himself much more handsome. He was always conscious about the fact that he was a doctor and a bachelor. You know, my dear children, our hero had a different concept about his would-be. You know, who is a would-be? The supposed partner in life. He had a different idea about his wife. Don't you want to hear that? She needed to be a lady doctor with a lot of money and good medical practice, and he needed his wife to be a fat lady. You must be thinking, why does he choose a fat lady? The thing is that if he makes a mistake and if he needed to run away, she should not be able to run after him. That is why he chose the fat lady. While thinking about all this, there came a dull thud. It was as if a rubber tube had fallen. It was a large snake, a full-blooded cobra. It wriggled over the back of the chair and landed on his shoulder. The hood of the snake was 3 or 4 inches away from his face. He stood there motionless, breathless, turned to a torn image in flesh. He couldn't jump, couldn't tremble. Even at the slightest moment, the snake will strike. So, he stood there breathless. He felt a severe pain on his left arm, as if a rope made of molten fire crushing his hand. Fortunately, the snake saw its reflection in the mirror. It unwound itself from the writer's arm and moved towards the mirror. The writer thoughts, the doctor thinks, whether it was admiring its own beauty, like himself. He humorously thinks whether the snake is taking an important decision to grow a mustache, to use an eyeshadow or a mascara. You're all familiar with mascara, you know. In Malayalam it is called kanvashi. Or to wear a vermilion mark on his forehead. You know what a vermilion mark is? Sindhuram. In Kerala, there is a custom for the wedded ladies to wear a spot on the forehead. That is Sindhuram. When the snake moved towards the mirror, holding his breath, he got up from his chair and ran with all his might to his friend's house. On reaching there, he smeared oil all over his body and took a bath. But the next day, he returned to his house with one of his friends and two others to collect his things. But there was nothing to collect. Some thieves had removed everything. They had left it behind only one thing, his dirty vest. The writer humorously thinks, the doctor humorously thinks that the thief had a good sense of cleanliness because he had left behind only his dirty vest. And that's the end of the story. But before winding up, let's watch an animation video to make the story clear.
The doctor told a story of how a snake once coiled itself round his arm. He was telling the story to his friends. The doctor was a homeopath who had just started his practice. He lived in a small rented room. It was not in a very good condition. It wasn't electrified. It had a tiled roof, and the room was full of rats. One hot summer night, the doctor returned to his room after having his meal at a restaurant. When he opened his room, he heard a familiar sound from above. These were rats fighting and jumping here and there. He lighted the kerosene lamp on the table. He took off his coat, white shirt, and the dirty vest. He sat down on the chair. There was a large mirror on the table. He looked into the mirror. He decided to shave daily and grow a thin mustache to look more handsome. He smiled while looking into the mirror. It was a charming smile. He also decided to wear the charming smile on his face to look more handsome. A lovely thought came to his mind. He would marry a rich lady doctor. His wife must be so fat that when he committed any mistake and needed to run away, she might not be able to catch him. While on his chair, he heard a thud. Before he could understand anything, a fat snake wriggled over the back of the chair and landed on his shoulder. Then it slid from his shoulder and coiled round his left arm above the elbow. Its hood was spread out and its head was hardly 3 to 4 inches away from his face. The doctor sat as if he was a statue. He thought of only one help, the help from the Almighty. God appreciated that. The snake turned its head and looked into the mirror. It unwound itself from his arm and slowly crept into the table and moved towards the mirror and enjoyed its beauty. He got up from the chair and quietly went out through the door. Then the doctor ran till he reached his friend's house. He came back to his house only the next morning with his friend and one or two others. He had come to move his things from there. But there was hardly anything left for him to carry. Some thief had removed most of his things except the dirty vest. There was no sign of the snake either.
I hope that all of you have enjoyed the story. Let me give an assignment for you. You need to make a diary entry of the doctor. And let us meet once again in the next class. Till then, goodbye.